What is going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Wisco Madman coming at you with another one. So I just got done. Well, I shouldn't say got done quite yet, but I've watched a significant portion of the Squid Games, and I won't get into that too much in this video. But that's what sparked this topic to look into Korean culture. If you guys have watched any of my previous videos, you may have noticed that I'm fairly interested in trying to get a non-biased source of information coming to me that isn't necessarily influenced by our government, our media, whoever. I just want to make sure that I'm seeing things with as little filtered lens as possible. I try to keep an open mind on everything. Obviously, I have my own opinion and my own tilt on how things are viewed, but I don't want to be sheltered to things. I don't want to be that person that automatically, without checking into it, assumes that the US, the United States of America, is the most free or is the best place on earth to live. I'm very prideful of living here, fully patriotic, but when looking into other things and when understanding other cultures, I try to take an open mind to it. So getting into Korea, I got to thinking as I was watching towards the end of the Squid Games series or season, first season that came out. Still not quite sure if there's going to be another season, but it seems like it could be left open for possibility. What I will say about it is, if you don't know, it takes place in Korean culture. It takes place with Korean people. So it just kind of made me think about different portions in it. I'm seeing that Christianity was shared a lot, and I'm like, this is Asia. Seems odd that Christianity would be so widely shared in this. And it's also, I believe, recorded in Korean. I believe would be the initial audio. I obviously listened to it in English because I don't speak Korean. But nonetheless, I just thought it was interesting that there was so much portrayal of Christianity, which got me digging into the internet and doing my curiosity searches as I do when I go off on a topic. And what I will say about that is, currently, yes, Christianity is more of a majority religion over there from what I've found. There was slight confliction in some of the information that I found. There's other websites, I believe the AsianSociety.org is the, or Asia Society, I believe it's called, sorry if I said that wrong, is the website that I'm using currently, that I have actually pulled up on my computer here as I do this video. But I believe they say that no religion is actually more, just barely more prominent. People, just be it agnostic, be it atheist, whichever, they don't particularly claim any one religion. And that seems to be the conflicting facts, is either Christianity or no religion is the majority in Korea. Yes, I am aware North and South Korea are the current countries over there. Obviously, North Korea being basically completely isolated from the rest of the world from what we know in the United States. Again, I try to make sure that I get as unbiased information as I can and actually learn about it. Everything I've ever found about North Korea is that they are very closed off from the outside world. They live in a dictatorship. They're starving people that suffer daily under Kim Jong-un's oppression, I guess is the best word I have for it. But that's not what the topic's about. So I brought Korea up. Specifically, where I'm trying to stay to in this video is the Korean religion and what I got curiosity on, because I found it odd that Christianity would be the majority religion over in an Asian country. Obviously, we know why. Buddhism and Hinduism, and I believe Sikh, I don't know how to say it, if it's Sikhism or how it is, but Sikh is another religion over there that I know is major. Islam, if you're over in the Middle East, is very common and does bleed over into other Eastern Asian countries or Southern Asian countries. But anyway, I'm not obviously the expert on all that. What I will say is it just seemed odd. It seemed very odd to be a majority Christian, because generally speaking, you follow the religion in which is the majority in the area, because that's what you're influenced around you. If I grew up over in Asia, chances are I would be Buddhist or Hindu. That's just how it is. Debate me on it if you want, but that is my honest opinion. That is my honest opinion. The people who raise you will influence you towards a certain religion. And if I ever have kids, that is one thing that I'm going to be major on. I personally do not follow any religion. I believe in God. That's where I leave it. And I will say, when I raise my kids, I will not push them towards any certain way. I will encourage them to be open-minded towards whatever they feel they believe. That's it. There's no reason to push them anyway. What the fuck do I gain from that? Seriously. That's why I don't follow religion, by the way. Oh, my point of the majority religion in Korea being Christianity is that it just seems as though there may have been influence upon the region over the periods of war that it had between World War II and then on to the Korean War. And obviously we know, like, if we're going to start traveling down this road, as I'll probably address in future videos, because this has been a topic I've been thinking about, is it really depends on how far back in history we want to go. But for the sake of this video, we're going to stick with current last 100 years or so. But historically, South Korea was originally, obviously, part of Korea. Korea was never, from what I could find, was never really truly independent. They were always influenced by some dynasty or regime. So, South Korea is what I'm referring to, because currently I believe North Korea is still majority, I believe, Buddhist. I'm not 100% sure on that. For the purpose of this argument, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can use that as a reference point, but for the purpose of this argument, I'm focusing on South Korea, which is supposedly much more modern, much more developed, and into globalism or being part of the global society. And South Korea is not historically Christian, as I believed. Before I dug into this, I thought it seemed fishy that Christianity would be the majority religion in South Korea. It is. There clearly, if you follow history, once the United States had influence, then South Korea was Christian. Pre-World War II, talking when the Japanese had influence, when the Chinese had influence, when Korea was generally speaking more Asian influenced, more natural to themselves, I guess would be the best way to put it. They were a majority under the influence of shamanism, according to this website. Shamanism, Buddhism, Daoism, Confucianism, And obviously, now in modern times, they're under the influence of Christianity. So I beg the question, on top of the obvious, that we were clearly trying to force democracy upon the South Korean people, and probably all of Korea, to be honest, if we really could, if we could overtake Russia in their control in North Korea, we would easily go for that. Modern day, we obviously have a lot more Chinese influence on North Korea now, but originally the North Koreans were supported by Russia and then backed by the Chinese. But yeah, so with all my branching off into different rabbit holes and different things, the United States is no better than anybody else in their consistently pushing their thinking. We look at communism, dictatorship, the Islamic religion, I don't want to leave things out, but I'm not even going to chase all those things. My point is, every different type of belief, every political belief, every religious belief is going to push for more people to participate. And clearly, again, in this scenario, we had a lot of influence in South Korea. We did a lot of things in South Korea to push our Western ways, and it's no wonder we have a wide variety of groups that hate us. I'm still pro United States, go red, white, blue, all that. But we have to recognize that there's things that we need to learn from in our history. And we clearly changed the entire future of South Korea. Some would say for the better, but we took some of their culture away as well. Think on that. Comment. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.